Imagine living in a world where you could eliminate diseases before birth by simply editing the genes of the unborn. Would you find it intriguing or terrifying? This is not an imaginary scenario. A few years ago, a scientist in China crossed a line that most had agreed to avoid by editing the genes of a human baby. The catch! The baby, a helpless participant, had no say in this grand experiment. This case brought the ethical dilemma of gene editing to the forefront. Gene editing, as it stands today, is a tool of immense power, but one we have yet to fully understand or control. It's like a scalpel in the hands of a toddler. It has the potential to cut through diseases and genetic disorders, but it could also cause irreversible harm. The Chinese scientists' experiment was condemned by many in the scientific community, and rightly so. It's like playing roulette with a life that cannot consent to the gamble. This incident also highlights a potential moral hierarchy in the scientific community. At the top, we have the researchers who hold the power to alter the course of human evolution. At the bottom, we have the subjects of these experiments, often unaware and unable to voice their concerns or rights. It's a power dynamic that needs careful scrutiny and regulation. Beyond the ethical concerns, there's also the question of safety. As of now, gene editing is a bit like walking through a minefield blindfolded. We're not completely sure what we're tampering with or what the long-term effects might be. Until we have a firm grasp on these aspects, it remains a risky endeavour. And yet, the promise of gene editing is tantalising. Imagine a world free of genetic diseases, where each child is born with the best possible chance at a healthy life. It's a vision that's hard to resist, but one that must be approached with caution and respect for the ethical boundaries we set. While the ethical implications loom large, the potential benefits of gene editing are equally compelling. Now, consider the mating market, the driving force behind natural selection. Can technology revolutionize this as well? Imagine a world where the concept of intelligent reproduction becomes commonplace. This isn't about selecting partners based on physical attractiveness or personality traits alone, but also on genes. As our understanding of genetics broadens, we're likely to see the emergence of intelligent reproductive strategies that go beyond the instinctive motivations of the mind. Intelligent reproduction, as I like to call it, is a strategy that incorporates our growing understanding of genetics into the process of choosing a partner. This could mean selecting mates based on genetic compatibility, reducing the risk of genetic diseases, or even optimizing for traits like intelligence or longevity. Now you might be wondering, how does one make such informed decisions? Well, that's where the market steps in. Just as we have financial consultants to help us make informed investment decisions, we could soon see the rise of reproductive consultants. These individuals might leverage the latest technological advancements to provide services that support intelligent reproduction. In this future, instead of only superficial factors driving the mating market, we could have a much more precise approach. Reproductive consultants could help potential parents evaluate the genetic risks and rewards associated with different partners. This could lead to a significant shift in how we choose our mates. We're essentially talking about a precision reproduction market here. This market could be the ultimate result of our current trajectory of technological progress, bringing about a revolution in the way we approach reproduction and family planning. Instead of leaving things to chance, we could make educated decisions about our future children based on a deep understanding of our own genetics. But what implications could such a market have on society? Could it lead to a commodification of certain genetic traits? Could it exacerbate social inequalities? These are questions we must grapple with as we navigate the uncharted waters of intelligent reproduction. The precision reproduction market could be the future of our technological progress, changing the very way we think about family planning. What if the market could trade good genes just like stocks and commodities? Imagine a world where your genetic composition is not just a matter of inheritance, but a subject of market dynamics. As our understanding of genetics deepens, this could very well be the future of reproduction. Let's take a moment to consider the possible demand for good genes. Now, good is a subjective term, but for the sake of this discussion, let's define good as genes that contribute to extraordinary longevity. Suppose we discover exactly the combination of genes responsible for living a longer, healthier life. Wouldn't these genes be in high demand? As we progress towards a genetically literate society, the value of these good genes could skyrocket, making certain individuals more attractive in the mating market. It's not too far-fetched to imagine a time when desirable genetic traits could be as sought after as physical attractiveness or financial stability is today. This is where the concept of intelligent reproduction comes into play. We could see potential parents seeking reproductive consultants to help them assess the genetic risks and benefits of reproducing with a particular partner. The mating market could transform into a marketplace of genes, where individuals are valued not just for their personal qualities, but for their genetic composition as well. And what about mating patterns? Could they change as a result of increased genetic literacy? It's entirely plausible. For instance, sperm banks might offer premium payments to donors who possess the right combination of genes. Mating patterns could adapt as this new knowledge diffuses into society. In this new era of genetic literacy, we might see a shift in how people perceive fitness and attractiveness. The traditional method of assessing fitness through physical appearance could become outdated, replaced by a more sophisticated understanding of genetic composition. This is not just about creating designer babies or manipulating nature to our whims. It's about using our understanding of genetics to make informed decisions about reproduction, to potentially improve the quality of life for future generations. As we advance in genetic literacy, our perception of fitness and attractiveness could shift from physical appearance to genetic composition. This could be the dawn of a new era in human reproduction, where the market for good genes shapes the future of our species. So, where does this lead us? Is the future of intelligent reproduction a utopia or a dystopia? The answers to these questions are as complex as the genetic codes we're looking to unravel. We've delved into the ethical dilemmas surrounding gene editing, the potential rise of intelligent reproduction strategies, and the burgeoning market for good genes. In a world where genetic literacy becomes the norm, we could see the emergence of reproductive consultants, precision reproduction markets, and a shift in the way we perceive attractiveness and mate selection. This could revolutionize the very fabric of our society. Yet this brave new world is not without its perils. The debate rages on about the safety and ethical implications of gene editing. Furthermore, the potential for a market-driven approach to reproduction raises questions about accessibility and equity. As we stand at the crossroads of bioethics and technology, the future of intelligent reproduction remains an intriguing mystery.